From Fenway to the Big House, Churchill Downs to the Polo Grounds, every sport has its iconic venue. In the world of obstacle racing, Palmerton, Pennsylvania's Blue Mountain holds that honor. Through grit and determination, fearless battles, triumphs, and failures, this mountain has been anointed with the blood, sweat, and tears of all those brave enough to face it. And today, history will be made once again.
Are you ready?
For Spartan's Elite, it is the third clash of the U.S. Championship Series. A decisive moment on the long and winding road to glory or the pit of defeat. It is a burning desire for greatness, shared by the wise and the hopeful. It is a journey of inner discovery, as an icon is led across sacred ground.
Come on, Amelia, you're almost there!
By a team who defy all odds. This is the Blue Mountain Challenge. And today, we live and unite under one belief: no retreat and no surrender. It's just past dawn in the Blue Mountains of Pennsylvania. For years, this course has proven to be one of obstacle racing's most demanding venues, and this year is no different. Today's Blue Mountain Challenge will serve as a proving ground for thousands of open-class racers and the halfway point for the elite men and women competing to be crowned Spartan U.S. champion. Amongst the legion of determined warriors is 2015 Spartan world champ Robert Killian. With only 3 races left in the series, today's race is a must-win as he returns to the course where he began his Spartan career just 1 year ago.
Right now I'm standing in second place, and to get Atkins off that podium is going to be extremely difficult. There's a rivalry there, between Ryan and I, and right now he's on fire. I want to be on the top of the podium. I want to put the most stress on him. I have to win this race, like it's do or die for me.
For elite women's racer Faye Stenning, today's race is an opportunity to overcome a recent shoulder injury and use the momentum of 2 second-place finishes to propel her past series leader, Lindsay Webster.
I'm feeling so lucky just to be here racing. A week ago, I injured my shoulder. It's kind of an overuse injury. My shoulder was literally like frozen. I got through an injury, I'm here, and I'm gonna be gunning for Lindsay. She's definitely the only thing that's between me and being series champion.
We're just moments away from kicking off the Blue Mountain Challenge in Palmerton, Pennsylvania, the third stop in the Spartan U.S. Championship Series. I can't think of a better place for today's showdown than this historic super course that has provided some of the most memorable races in Spartan's brief history. With only 3 races remaining, the stakes are at an all-time high, and I can guarantee these racers are ready to lay it all on the line.
Beautiful views fool you. Tremendous climbs, technical trails, back-breaking obstacles, and the debut of a new Spartan challenge, guaranteed to make today's supercourse flat-out ruthless. The race kicks off with a 1.5-mile trek up the highest vertical in Pennsylvania. At the mountain's peak, racers will be forced to switch gears and tackle a series of obstacles that will shift the strain from their legs to their upper bodies. From there, 6 miles of continuous ascents and descents will be intensified by an array of strategically placed obstacles intended to break even the strongest willed Spartans.
It's time to get this party started. Are you ready to go?
In addition to 3 Spartan world champions, Robert Killian, John Albin, and Cody Moen, today's race is stacked with the top brass of the sport, including series leader Ryan Atkins and Hunter McIntyre, who is hell-bent on making his presence known in the third race of the Spartan U.S. Championship Series.
Dude, I'm feeling great about this race. Best in the world are coming together. These guys are all a bunch of Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and Maseratis. And I'm like an all-American 4x4 Bronco. I'm able to out-torque them. I'm able to outwork them. I'm just gonna come in and pound them. It's gonna be exciting.
Firing on all cylinders as they make their way across the course towards a steep climb that will lead straight to the mountain's peak. And an obstacle that could bring racers to a screeching halt.
We're here at the spear throw, an obstacle that typically takes place much later in the race, but not today. Today, athletes are going to ascend one of the steepest climbs in the course, lower their heart rates, grab a spear, and fire it over it. A miss would be 30 devastating burpees, which would cripple their chances of taking home a W. Our first athletes appear to be coming in here right now, with Cody Moat in first, Robert Killian in second, Jonathan Albin in third.
When we get up the spear throw, I wanted to try to let my heart rate get down a little bit. Before I knew it, 1, 2, 3 guys had already nailed it.
And away they go, but Killian is still setting up.
I was like, man, I gotta nail this. You miss it that early in a race, you're gonna be thinking about that the rest of the race. Took my time, focused.
Killian has hit his spear throw and he is off as well. The top 4 men all moving strong. Hunter McIntyre arriving in 8th position right now. He's given up already about 60 seconds. He needs this throw. He nails the spear throw. He's got a big lead to catch up if he's gonna have a chance to take home a W today.
A Spartan racer is tough, strong, determined, unbreakable.
You really have to be a mentally tough individual to be able to persevere.
Any negativity that comes in your head, just shut it off and throw it out your head.
I had to push myself and just tell myself, you know, don't quit, keep going, keep going.
The most painful part of the course is not knowing when it's going to end. I keep telling myself that each step gets me closer to the finish line.
I push through the pain with my heart and mind. I'm not giving up. It's the toughest thing I've ever done.
It's good to know that you can push your body to the limits and still come through.
I race because it helps me get through hard times in life. After agony and pain and more agony and pain, yeah, it feels really good getting through that finish line.
Today's Blue Mountain Challenge is now underway as Spartan's elite women prepare to embark on an 8-mile battle with this historic course and each other. Today's lineup include the top echelon of the sport, featuring rising OCR star Alyssa Hawley, Vermont native Orla Walsh, runner-up in the first 2 races of the series, Faye Stenning, and series leader Lindsay Webster, who enters today's race hoping to tune out the noise that comes along with being a race favorite.
No face hunting me down, and I think she's gonna come into this race and be flying. Coming into every race knowing that I have a target on my back, I just sort of focus on myself and what I can do out there and try not to get too distracted by everything happening around me.
With an epic grind to the mountain's peak towards an obstacle that has proven to be a formidable foe for series leaders Lindsay Webster and Faye Stenning.
We're at the women's spear throw right at the top of the first ascent. We have Lindsay Webster and we have Faye Stenning. In the last 2 races, each of them has missed their spear throw.
Faith, Nicole, and I all came into the spear at the same time. Nicole missed hers. I went and threw mine. I actually hit it. And then it fell right back in.
Lindsay has missed and is on to her burpees. First and second, both doing burpees. If Faye Stenning can hit this throw, she has a chance to take this race and run away with things early.
Lindsay and Nicole both missed it. And I was like, this is it. This is your opportunity to beat Lindsay. Like right here, right now. I was just like, Faye, take yourself out of all the hype and the excitement and just throw it like you throw it in practice. You got this.
She nails it, and she is gone. Faye Stenning out in front alone. Lindsay Webster in second place doing burpees.
It terrified me because I was like 5 burpees in at this point. Now she automatically has like a 1.5-minute gap. And I know she's such a fierce runner.
While Lindsay struggles to bear the weight of her early misstep, British elite racer and 2014 Spartan world champ John Albin leads Robert Killian and a pack of elite men into the first of 3 back-breaking carries on today's supercourse, the bucket brigade.
At the beginning of the race, John Albin, he went out quick. He's a super fast runner, super fast climber. I thought strategically, I can't let him get away from me. I need to keep him within striking distance. I was gaining ground on him, and I was able to pass him on the downhill. And I think in doing that, maybe I went out a little harder than I should have. And I was smoked. I was like exhausted at that point. And you know Atkins, you know Hunter, they're strong on the bucket carry. So in order to not lose a bunch of time to those guys, I need to keep going, keep it strong.
The thing with the bucket is it's just so awkward and painful that you can't really rush it, because if you do, you're just going to be at too much of a debt to try to move quickly afterwards. I didn't really think about who it was ahead of me. I just wanted to stay just focused on myself and not get caught up in all the outside noise.
The story of today's Blue Mountain Challenge continues to unfold, with Faye Stenning looking to solidify her lead over Lindsay Webster, heading into the bucket brigade. For Faye, a recent conversation with injured Spartan icon Amelia Boone has given her the confidence and insight needed to continue her ascent to the top of the sport.
If there's anyone who I'm gonna say is tougher than me, I'm gonna say it's Amelia Boone.
Amelia Boone.
Amelia just gets amped up, grinding through races, being uncomfortable. She has the passion, and she loves the sport so much that she's willing to sacrifice everything for it and really work harder than everyone. Just kind of got to know Amelia this year. She's the kind of person that when I have questions or when things aren't feeling right in my training, she's gonna make time and she's gonna give good advice.
This is a hard part of the season right now. You have your fitness, you have that baseline. So now's the time that you kind of like focus on the specific skills where you think you're weak and hammer at those.
So you'd think that my mileage and everything like that should sort of remain consistent?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you just don't want to get in a trap where you think that you need to do more and more and more. Like, I've seen so many people train way too hard and blow up because they've just got nothing left. It's a long season. Faye is an extremely talented athlete, and you can see that in the way she races. She is like super in tune and wants to know everything about, you know, every single obstacle and how she can improve. And she just has that fire.
I've totally switched up training this year, and now I think I'm way more well-rounded.
Like, the sport's definitely gotten to a point where it's like you have to train like a professional athlete.
It's a lot of training. Like, you can't get away with training once a day.
I think for her, it's almost like building that confidence and realizing just how much potential she has. She has all the skills. Like, hey, you've got it. You can do this. You can win. You can beat Lindsay. I think if Faye goes out there and leaves it all out on the course and doesn't hold back, she can absolutely run away with it. I think really you just need to believe in yourself. Know that all of your training is gonna come through here and just rely on that. Lindsay's beat you in the past 2 races. It's a very strong course for her. The key is to get out of eyesight. If you can get ahead of her and like where she can't see you anymore, that is very defeating, and you don't push as hard, and it mentally plays with them. If you have an opportunity, break away.
With the voice of Amelia Boone in her head and the top of the podium within reach, Faye surges ahead with poise and determination, leaving Lindsay Webster with an unfamiliar sense of urgency.
I didn't see Faye anywhere, which was really scary. So I tried to get through it as fast as possible. All that was going through my mind was like, close the gap, close the gap. And every time I started feeling tired, I was like, no, you're not putting this bucket down. You're gonna keep pushing.
While Lindsay continues hunting Faye at the top of the podium, Spartan's elite men arrive at the mountain's base, with John Albin holding a small lead over Robert Killian, who is struggling to keep John within striking distance while fighting off the pack, nipping at his heel.
John's in front of me, but I was definitely closing the gap. And then take a quick look behind me. Atkins was right there. I was getting absolutely nervous. Put in the work to get that lead. You don't want to give it up. You definitely have to push through. But at the same time, I need to conserve a little bit. It's a thin line.
Not far behind in third, Ryan Atkins is feeling the effects of the first 2 grueling miles of course while fighting to maintain a level head.
It had already been like a pretty hard couple first miles. Cody and Ryan Woods passed me. I mean, that was tough. There's definitely a certain element of concern. You have to recognize those moments, accept them, and take a lot of energy from them.
Still behind in a surprising 7th place, Hunter McIntyre enters the barbed wire and begins to set his sights on race leaders.
Barbed wire crawl is my arch nemesis. I've got these big chunky hips, and they do not like rolling underneath barbed wire. But I can see everybody, so I surge. I just focus on each line of the barbed wire. I'm hustling, you know. I didn't come here just to half-ass this thing. I was getting closer and closer to the top 2. I knew the double sandbag was coming. I know exactly where I'm going to strike.
Today's Blue Mountain Challenge continues to unfold, with John Albin leading the elite men towards an obstacle that will crush even the mightiest of Spartans.
As if a sandbag carry wasn't hard enough, today will be twice as hard as athletes take on the double sandbag carry. 2 sandbags down and up this double black diamond ski slope. It's going to be pure misery, and it's going to separate the men from the boys. Coming into the sandbag in first place, we have 2014 world champion Jonathan Albin. He is an incredibly strong mountain runner, but the heavy carries are not his forte. Here comes Robert Killian. This is definitely going to be an obstacle that gives him an opportunity to break away from the field.
We arrive at the sandbag carry, and John Albin's got about 45 seconds on me. I looked behind me, I didn't see anybody, but Ryan and Hunter, they lived for the sandbag carry. I knew they were going to come. I was able to pass John. We went around the last corner. I did take a peek back, and I saw Atkins coming, and I'm like, damn it. I know he's coming, and I'm gonna really have to push, but I've already 4 miles in the race. The quads are destroyed, your calves are destroyed, you're at max heart rate. Go into it, thinking it's an opportunity to get back first place, and now to see Atkins passing me, I mean, that's just like demoralizing.
Just as we expected, Ryan Atkins, with his superior strength on the heavy carries, has blown by the field. He's moved from 6th or 7th position all the way up into 1st, and he's still pulling away. This top portion of the climb is the most devastating. It just continues to kick up in steepness, and he is pulling away quickly. You can see that Robert Killian is struggling tremendously.
Take a quick look behind me. I see Hunter closing the gap. Now I'm not only fighting to try to get first, I'm like battling to even keep second.
I was able to pass the whole pack, and now I'm in 3rd place, and this is where you need to be. When I get to this climb, I see where Atkins and Killian is. So I'm hunting them, I'm chasing them, Meanwhile, I'm suffering. My legs are burning. I've got blood blisters all over my hand because I'm doing everything in my power to grip onto these 2 massive sandbags and get up the hill. But the double sandbag is pretty much as ugly as it gets. It's, I think, something that really defines the sport. These sandbags weigh 50 pounds apiece, and you're going up and down double black diamonds. You know, most people struggle to ski down double black diamonds. It breaks spirits, but at the same time, it defines you as an athlete. You get to know who you are on that thing, and it will break you if you're not 100% ready.
Hunter McIntyre is in 3rd position. His legs have looked pretty good, and he's got a chance to hit a podium spot and maybe even track these guys down.
After an early missed spear throw, Lindsay Webster has forged a miraculous comeback, overtaking Faye Stenning for first place as the elite women arrive at the mountain's base and mile 3 of today's Supercourse.
Coming into the bar where I didn't know where Lindsay was, it was very discouraging. It was just incredible to see that she could make up 3 minutes on me, just in pure guts, flying down those hills. As I was doing the barbed wire, I heard people on the side saying, she's right up there, she's still in the barbed wire. So I got kind of like a glimpse of hope at that point. Like, this isn't quite over yet. She's within striking distance.
While Faye pushes forward, refusing to surrender. At the mountain's base, thousands of open-class racers converge and set their sights on today's historic Blue Mountain Supercourse. Amongst the crowd of determined racers is Spartan icon Amelia Boone. After years of dominating the sport, Amelia returns to the Blue Mountain, having suffered a recent injury, and has teamed up with adaptive racer Amanda Sullivan with the hopes of gaining a new perspective on the sport she loves.
Last season was probably my most successful obstacle racing season. I did really well. I won a lot of races. So when this season started to roll around, I was just fired up and ready to go. It was a week before the season was supposed to start, and I was going down a sharp descent, and all of a sudden it felt like my leg was breaking in half. I found out that I have a stress fracture in my femur, and it takes a really long time to heal. Having it be the week before the season started and just seeing the entire season collapse in front of me, it's been hard. I met Amanda a few years ago, and just seeing her drive and determination and how she crushed this course with such enthusiasm inspires me. To me, it's an opportunity to learn from her and to learn that spirit.
I got injured 7.5 years ago, and I never thought that I would be an athlete again. When I heard that she got injured, my heart really went out to her because I know what it's like to be sidelined, and all of a sudden, it's all the questions of who am I if I'm not this certain person. Take a toast and celebrate to the glory days. I do know that it's going to be an incredibly humbling experience for her. Palmerton is not easy for anyone, and certainly not going to be easy on crutches. Just to step onto the course, I think it's going to be truly life-changing.
I'm Amelia. Nice to meet you. I am extremely nervous. I may be more nervous right now than I am before regular races, but such a lesson for me in that no matter what, your setback or your disability, that doesn't mean that you just sit on the couch and you don't do anything. You get out there and to the best of your ability, you go live life. Thank you for letting me crash the party, guys. I appreciate it.
Spartan race and join the conversation using the hashtag Spartan on NBC. Today's Blue Mountain Challenge continues to prove that it's not for the faint of heart. As Lindsay Webster grinds her way up and across the mountain's peak towards a sandbag carry of epic proportions.
The sandbag carry in true Spartan style is right on the freaking top of the mountain. You've climbed the mountain twice now, your legs are just like totally gone. So I grabbed my sandbags. I couldn't get a good grip on them. I put them down a few times. I hated it. That was for sure the darkest moment of the race for me.
Not far behind, Base Stenning is driven by her relentless pursuit of Lindsay and a first-place finish.
Coming into the sandbag carry, I ran down the mountain. I turned the corner, and then I see this awful hill. Every time you put the heavy object down and have to pick it up again, it's like another deadlift, and that's just a complete waste of energy. And then it mentally breaks you because you're kind of like, this object is beating me, it's better than me. I just did not want to slow down. I knew if I did, Alyssa could very well get by me. Alyssa is super crazy strong at the heavy carries.
I love the heavy carries. Like, that is my strength. And I'm like, all right, give me both of them, boom, on my back. All right, let's do this. I work construction, so I'm carrying stuff all day long. It was just like any other day at work. This whole race, I've been chipping away at each girl. They're right in front of me, and I'm like, I'm ready. You just gotta kind of get in that zone, and I just look down, and I'm like, keep going, keep going, keep going, just to get up that hill, just one foot in front of the other. I know you're struggling, just keep pushing. Anything can happen in this race.
While the elite women continue to make their way through today's brutal supercourse, Spartan world champ Amelia Boone is struggling to manage unfamiliar nerves as she slowly crutches her way across a course she has dominated in the past.
This looks like fun. Coming into this race, I was very nervous because I didn't know how my body would hold up. I didn't know how things would feel. I've never attempted to crutch up a mountain before. So we're coming up these walls, and I'm realizing, how do I get over these without impacting my bad leg, impacting the fracture?
Okay, you might need help.
Come with me.
Everyone's there helping me over and making sure I'm not falling. And then I realized that's just the type of people that I was out there with.
You got this, Spartan.
A lot of these adaptive athletes that have done these races over and over again, they realize they have to be creative when it comes to obstacles. They know that one way or another, they're gonna get over that obstacle. People in society tell them, no, you can't do that. There's no way, you're in a wheelchair. And Spartan racing gives them an opportunity to prove like, hey, I can do that. That is such an empowering feeling. They see these challenges and they know that there's always a hand out there to help them. And in life in general, I'm really bad at accepting help from other people. Seeing how everyone worked together and seeing the methods that they had to tackle this, I started to relax and realize, like, I can trust these people. Like, you know, they're here to help me and we're in it together.
After an epic downhill attack, Ryan Atkins has a firm grasp on first place as he leads the elite men through the swim obstacle towards a Spartan course first. The Ape Hanger.
We're here just over 7 miles into the race at a new contraption known as the Ape Hanger. Athletes are gonna jump into the water, scale up this slippery rope, ascend across this horizontal ladder, and ring the bell. They can only use their hands, they cannot touch the water. Coming in for his first trip ever on the Ape Hanger is Ryan Atkins. When we added the Tire ladder, which was a similar obstacle using hands and feet, he was the first to master it. He used it to win the Montana race. looking like a difficult man to beat. And in second place right now out in the distance, you can see Robert Killian.
Going into a new obstacle, I'm just thinking wet hands on metal, just one slip of the fingers could cost you the race. Hunter's right behind me at this point, so I was just trying to stay focused. I knew we had less than a mile left, and then to give Hunter the opportunity to come back and take second.
Killian is suffering. So am I. We're both on the edge of either falling in the coffin or gaining a place.
We've got a tight race. Hunter McIntyre making a strong move with a chance to overtake Robert Killian and steal second place.
Let's go, Hunter. Let's go, man.
And he has got a shot.
Now 7 miles into today's Supercourse, Lindsay Webster is worn and wounded as she makes her way across the ape hangar while struggling to maintain her lead over Faye Stenning and the rest of the elite women's pack.
So I wasn't like that worried about the new obstacle, but then I used all my upper body on the rope, tired out my grip, and then I'm like trying to reach for the handles, and I was like just already fatigued. I haven't been working that grip strength as much as I normally do because of this injury.
Got it, Faye. Take your time.
And then yeah, I slipped off. I was really, really nervous about Alyssa, like doing your burpees and you're trying to count. As you're coming up on your burpees, you can see the obstacle and you're trying to check if she's coming. So I was just trying to get through those burpees as quickly as possible. I'm like, okay, the race isn't over, I gotta go.
While the elite women set their sights on the finish line, Spartan icon Amelia Boone and her newfound team of courageous Spartans continue to push further into today's brutal Supercourse. Grinding their way through steep technical trails with eyes firmly fixed on the mountain summit.
Coming out of the trail, I see there's a giant hill between me and the spear throw, and it's steep. It's very, very steep. And it's honestly the first time ever where I'm like, I don't know if I can make it up that. When I'm healthy, I would make it up that climb in a matter of minutes. I really had to hunker down. I needed to show myself that I could. My left side is taking all the impact, crutching up the mountain, so I'm pretty much hopping on one leg.
You use the roots like stairs?
The calf is starting to go, the hamstring's starting to go, my shoulders are locking up. I was exhausted. Amanda told me that when you are going up a massive hill, you tell yourself, it's flat, I got this.
Come on, Amelia, you're almost there.
I learned so much from her. She is out there with a purpose. She's always racing for something, for someone.
I'm dedicating the race, oh no, I'm gonna cry, to my mom. She has stage 4 pancreatic cancer, so that's what I'm doing it for. Hopefully she'll be at the finish line.
She knows it's gonna hurt. She knows that it's gonna take her 12, 14, 16 hours, but she realizes why she does it. She knows she's lucky to still be out there.
Okay, we're almost there.
And there are a lot of people that aren't. So she races for those people. And whenever I get down on myself being injured, I realize like how blessed I am.
This is a good way to do it. Be careful, you don't want to hit a ditch and go down and break your other leg.
Looking at Amanda, looking at Lindsay, who is going to crawl up that hill. And I'm like, God, Amelia, like, think of how lucky you are.
While Amelia continues her quest of the body and the soul, the top 3 elite men are locked in a dogfight heading into the final half mile of today's Blue Mountain Challenge. Through his clinical approach to the course, Ryan Atkins continues to fend off Robert Killian, whose emotional roller coaster of the race has only worsened as Hunter McIntyre continues to chip away at Ryan and Robert's lead, heading into the log carrier.
Once I got to the bottom and turned around, I could see Robert. There was still the possibility that he could close that gap. There's definitely a concern but you can't control what the other guys are doing. I can control my effort, so I just focused on getting through it as best I could.
Get around the corner, and I'm just like, I'm gassed, like I can't run anymore. And then I see Hunter coming down, pretty fast pace. I was like, man, I need to pick it up. I kept looking back, making sure he wasn't gaining on me. I worked all this way, got second. I need to go right now.
Now it's a race between Killian and I. We're in this death march. His legs, I'm sure, they're burning. My legs are burning. I know what he's thinking in the back of his mind. I have to beat Hunter. That's all he's thinking. It's searing back there. Pressure's real. The championship series is starting to really create a precedence in the sport. Who really is the fittest across all of these domains? Who really is the best?
How you finished?
It is exciting. It is painful. I can't find anybody who is tougher than somebody who guts it out, start line to the finish line in something like this. I respect people across the line, but I respect those who beat me the most.
Taking home the win today, we got Ryan Atkins.
Today's Blue Mountain Challenge culminates with yet another show of dominance as Ryan Atkins takes his third consecutive victory, with Robert Killian finishing in second and Hunter McIntyre rounding out the podium in third. The day may be over for Spartan's elite men, but with less than a mile between the elite women and the finish, today's Blue Mountain Challenge is far from over. Today's historic Blue Mountain course continues to live up to its reputation, with Lindsay Webster struggling to hold on to her small lead as she continues to fight through pain and exhaustion, heading into yet another heavy carry. Not far behind, Faye Stenning arrives desperate to close the gap on Lindsay and keep third-place racer Alyssa Hawley at bay.
Got to the logs and I was so tired. Like I was just exhausted, but I was like, just keep pushing through and keep running with this thing. And then sure enough, Alyssa's coming down with the log and I'm just like, oh no. Alyssa can probably carry 10 logs extremely fast. She works in construction. So I'm like, go Faye. Go as hard as you can. The race is almost over. Just completely empty the tank because you are not safe with Alyssa on a heavy carry.
I come up to the multi-rig. I had no idea how close the girls were behind me, so I'm thinking like, I've got to get through this thing. Your forearms, your core, your back, all tired from this insane course.
Build that lead, Faye! Build that lead!
I see those same darn slippery ropes that were on the new obstacle that we had to do. You can't grab it with your legs, you can't grab it with your feet. Of course, it terrified me. You have to pull a lot of mental focus out.
It's basically all you can do to hang on to the thing.
Spartan racing, everybody knows, is as much a race about willpower and power of mind as it is a physical race. They do everything that they can to break you down. You just gotta go with their motto. Spartan up.
After a long day of dominance, Lindsay Webster claims her third consecutive Reebok U.S. Championship Series victory, with Faye Stenning once again taking second, and newcomer Alyssa Hawley making her first appearance on the podium, finishing in third. While the elite women celebrate their hard-earned victories, the Blue Mountain has once again come to life. Footprints to the summit. The weight of the seemingly impossible. A refusal to give up and give in. Thousands of moments, each an individual note in a chorus of courage and valor. For Spartan's elite, their legacies continue to come into focus as they reflect on yet another historic battle while setting their sights on the remaining 2 races of the U.S. Championship Series.
In third place, Hunter McIntyre.
I definitely pushed really hard today. That's respectable. I think everybody's asking the question, what's going to take to beat Atkins? To be able to dethrone somebody like that is going to take the greatest guts, the greatest effort, a lot of hard work and dedication. We got a few more races to really determine who's the best, and nothing would make me happier.
I'm so stoked to make it to the podium. These girls are so good. I feel blessed to even be competing next to them, not to mention on the podium with them.
In second place, Faye Steady.
Lindsay got me again, but Amelia gave me some great advice, and it's definitely gonna stick with me. I'm gonna put in more work, and I'll be able to get her.
This is how it all goes down tonight. This is how you bring me back to life.
The injury's been really hard on me.
Lost all feeling.
There are times where I'm really down in the dumps, and emotionally I just kind of feel empty. So today was kind of a way to like start filling that void.
If this is how it all goes down tonight, this is how you bring me back to life.
I learned today that there's more than one way to experience a Spartan race. And one's not necessarily better than the other.
Hey, crush it, hey! You got this, Spartans.
And I learned that you actually are capable of way more than you think. I learned today that even when I'm not out there like standing on top of podiums, these are my people. This is my tribe.
Oh, I'm broken and I'm barely breathing.
I learned that it's much harder to do a Spartan race in 12 hours than it is to do it in an hour and a half.
Goes down tonight.
It just amazes me what people are capable of.
It's
actually very incredible.
goes down.